Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to CEO Growth Talks. I'm your host, Pete Hayes, and welcome back. And welcome again, Nate Agentis. And today you have a slightly different title under your moniker there, and we're going to get to that. But let's just talk about Nick. No, well, let's not talk about Nick. Let's talk about Nate.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate you having me back. Awesome to be here. Thankful for the opportunity to talk to you and all those who watch your podcast.
Oh man, we're glad to have you. We're glad to have you back because we have a topic to explore that's adjacent to where you've been. So
Mhm.
Nate Agentis has been leading Agentis Plumbing in the Northeast and has a very successful business, but really is on a different path now. Maybe we just describe that path a little bit because we're going to go very quickly to a book that you've just published.
Yeah.
But what path are you on now, Nate?
Yeah, the path has been, kind of grow up in the family plumbing business and lead that for a really long time. My mom passed in 2012. There's a transition there. I think we shared a little bit about that in our previous podcast together. And it's kind of like the journey of my leadership, of learning how to grow a company. I was 30 years old with three babies at home, and so a long, hard road to get traction and try to figure out how to do that well. And by God's grace, it was a lot of hard work and good people coming around me, and we were able to really grow that plumbing company up. And I've lots of leadership now, so no longer really involved in the day to day in that process, and started speaking and coaching other trades business owners in the HVAC space and the plumbing space to try to just bring what I've learned to the
Mhm.
industry, and speaking at a lot of trade shows and conferences. And it's the message has been received well, and it's been a lot of fun. And for me, it's like really life-giving to come alongside other tradespeople and um, support and help them, which has led me to writing my first book.
So some people call this, they get to a point in their life or their careers and they go, oh, I want to give back. Are we giving back? Is that what this is?
Yeah, no, I think the word purpose comes to mind. I think
Okay.
as you really start to evaluate life, I mean, you're not a young man either anymore, neither am I. And you start to say, like, what am I gifted at? What's my purpose? What was I created for?
Mm,
What's the maximum impact that I can make
okay.
with that? Right. And I think a lot of prayer and reflection time has really led me to say, like, yeah, I could keep just working the day to day in the business, and that would be good and helpful, but that's 70, 100 people. Where you get on stage and you talk to 500 business owners that have hundreds of people that work for them, right? You get the opportunity to write a book that people read and can then take back into their personal life, take back into their business. Now you're starting to have maybe some impact in the thousands. And I'm really loving that and trying to just do the best I can with the time I've been given.
Okay. So there's two new vectors. You still have a business, but
I
you have
still have a business.
you have two vectors that are interesting and related. And one's the book, but there's this organization that you're creating. You're creating really a not-for-profit called Hope for the Trades. Is that
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah?
hope for the trades. Yeah, so writing the book and
Why
been
does the
doing
trade need? Why does the trade need? Why do the trades
need
need help?
hope.
Hope.
Need
Yeah.
hope. They need hope, right? Because I think we lose hope. I think as tradespeople, you're grinding it out. Contractors are out there pouring their lives, they're sacrificing their time, their families, their marriages, their money, they're putting their house on the line, right, for some kind of goal, some kind of satisfaction. And sometimes that takes decades longer, sometimes that never happens. I think oftentimes in society we're overlooked, even though, we're not police officers and first responders, right? We're pretty close though when you wake up in
Pretty close to
sewage and
first
first
responder in an
responders when like
emergency.
you don't have heat,
Yeah.
you don't have water, you got sewage
Yeah.
in your basement, like all of a sudden, right? Kind of come first responders. And so I think some of the message of the book is like, you guys are heroes, right? Like without plumbing systems, without heat, without roofing, right? Without those things in the trades, like the world is a completely different place, right? And my goal is that you can see that value you bring to society, and help you work towards not just a healthy business, but also like a healthy life.
Okay. So I want to stay on the organization for just a second.
Yeah.
Because when we get to the book, we're going to be a little more provocative when we get there. Hope for the trades. Now,
Yeah.
does the organization's mission, is it, maybe there's a mission statement that you can share, but is it to provide hope for the trades? Is it to get their message out into the public to understand the trades better? Is it both of those things?
Yeah.
Where's this
It's
headed?
a great question. It's really to about restore like purpose and passion
Mm,
in people. Right. And I think those are words I really love, is that like we get burned out, so we lose our passion. We start to question our purpose. Like, is this really what I signed up for? Is this what I'm going to do the rest of my life? Is this how I die? You heard so many older guys, I'm just going to die in the truck. I'm going to die under the sink. Like,
mm,
because like there was just no purpose. It's just wake up, do the same thing, put out fires, repeat this process. And so
mm.
hope for the trades, the goal of it is, right, it kind of comes in three parts. It's let's help you with your business. So there'll be free books and resources and learning curriculums that not just me, other really smart contractors that want to be a part of this will be providing resources, and those will all be accessible, and vetted partners like chief outsiders and companies out there that are willing to come alongside and say like, hey, we'll help the trades. I mean, Pete, you personally,
Wow.
your company helped me when we were in growth stages, right? And it's partners like you saying like, hey, we can't do it for free because we're a business, but like, hey, here's a special discount, here's an entry offer, right? We're vetting. So when
And I
we're
hadn't even thought
recommending,
about that. I didn't know that's where this might go, but we're willing to help at any level. So free content, absolutely. We've got all sorts of case
there you go.
studies and things we might be able to help with to help people think through. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
that's
business side, right? We're on the business side, right? And then kind of get into the personal. How do you how do you retreat as a person? How do you take time to rest and put your phone aside and think? And so we're going to have retreats and workshops for people in the trades, maybe the owners, but maybe they need to send their service manager. Maybe their warehouse manager's fried and needs a break. And it's a tool that we can send people to the workshops to heal and rest and sit in the woods of Virginia and just reflect on life and make sure their goals and family are where they want them. And so business side, personal side. So as our businesses are growing, our personal lives are better. Like, let's go help others then. Right. And that's kind of a humanitarian aspect. And we have some amazing humanitarian partners out there doing amazing things all over the world. We're not reinventing that. But what we are doing through our membership is calling tradespeople together, saying like, oh, you can do roofing. Oh, you can do plumbing. Oh, you can do concrete work. Let's come together and let's go serve in these different projects together. So we're bringing people together and facilitating them
yeah.
back out into the workspace.
I like about the progression you just described. It was, you're not able to do that. You're not able to go out and, hey, we're going to go out and help the world be a better
Yeah,
place. But
right.
but you got to put your oxygen mask on first, right? If
Exactly.
you're not healthy, if your business isn't
Yeah.
healthy, if your environment, if your family life, if your community, the things you're doing locally and at home,
Mhm.
that has to get into shape before you can
Absolutely.
reach out.
Right. Like you just can't. How do you give somebody a healing or help somebody if you haven't been there yourself? Right. You have to
Wow.
you have to journey that first, right? So that you can help take others there. And
Yeah.
that's what we want to do. And I think the trades just forget about that because we're always in survival mode. We're always in firefight mode. That's just the natural. Nobody ever calls us and is happy to talk to us and is like, hey, I just thought about calling the plumber and like, oh, it's so good to talk to you. And I just saved like a couple $1,000 and I've been dying to spend it on my plumbing. Right. Can you guys swing over sometime? We'll have some cookies. Right. Like no one calls you like that. Everyone's like, ah, I don't want to spend money. I got to call off work. This sucks. My
Okay,
stuff in my
everybody,
basement.
we have to call our plumbers and our pavers and
It'd
go
be a
have
little
cookies.
happier.
Yeah, that could be. Well, so if you take it all the way in, if you bring it all the way in home to
Yeah.
that level of intensity and responsiveness and the criticality of some of these calls you might get in the middle of the night and so
Yeah.
forth, um, you kind of end up at the title of your book.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get shit done, man. It's
yeah. So hold
not
up your
easy.
book. I know you've got your copy. It probably
Yeah.
holds up better than my
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And that's a little controversial. I mean, you're a Christian man, and here I got my version on my iPad. Did that come up at all?
Nice.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry.
There
Yeah.
it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I love reading it on my iPad. Um, That's a little bit of a controversial title. So where did it come from? What are you trying to get
Yeah.
accomplished there?
Well, obviously it's a little punny, right? Because we're plumbers. So shit's not a bad word to us. That's how we make money.
I didn't get that, but I know you. Yeah, you tell
Oh,
a little bit
oh,
about that.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
You ruined the whole joke of the book.
yeah.
No,
No, now it makes more sense than ever.
right. Third lessons from a third gen plumber, get shit done, ties to kind of like that business, get it done attitude, but also at the same time, just the heartbeat of us as a plumbing company. We were just that's how we make money. And so it's fun. We even tell our kids, right? No curse words in the house, but you know, shit's okay because that's how we eat.
Because now Daddy says it's okay, and we're in the. Yeah,
That feeds us.
I never
Um,
forget the sign I saw that for a plumbing company. It says we're number one in the number two business. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. See, you
Right.
got that joke. How come you
Yeah,
didn't get
I
my
got
joke?
that one right away.
I don't
Yeah, yeah,
understand. That doesn't
yeah.
make any sense to me. But yeah, the book is has an edgy title because like tradesmen like a little edge.
Yeah.
My goal is to speak that language a little bit and remind them that I am a tradesman. I'm not some YouTube sensation or Wall Street person that doesn't understand what they're going through. Like I've been in it, right? And it does get a little shitty at times.
Yeah.
Um, but the goal is right, like to bring a lot of like legacy thinking, values, virtue, uh, practical pillars that people can apply to life and business.
Yeah. So, and it sounds super tactical with the title, get shit done.
Yeah.
The subtitle is How to Grow Your Business, Build a Strong Team, and Leave a Lasting Legacy. So, this is a leadership book, right?
No,
It's a
absolutely.
leadership
Right.
book.
Absolutely. Right. Leadership book, kind of like playbook style, 5 pillars kind of written through it that I believe are like successful. And then we kind of like obviously can't land on all 5 pillars in a deep way, but we land on 2 of them to really try to help you grab some really obtainable objectives to bring back to home and to business.
Mm, okay. So, I know the book, and from what I've read so far, there's a you hit culture really hard in the middle, and
Mhm.
then you come back to it at the end. So you talk a lot
Yeah,
about culture, and then you come back to say, and by the way, this is how you're going to go build that.
that's right.
So culture is key to what?
Well, I think culture begins technically with yourself, right? So,
Mhm.
like, healthy owner is the first pillar, and sticky culture is the second. And it's like, we got to get ourselves right. Like, so many of us have been just doing it, grinding it, putting it all in the line. And then at the end of our day, are we actually really happy with the result we do? I talk a
Mhm.
little bit in the book about you know, if you're at your eulogy, right? If you could, you obviously are there, but you're not there, right? But if you could be there and you could watch it, right? Nobody wants to see their kids get up and talk about their dad and say, like, oh man, he was an amazing businessman. He made so much money. He sacrificed all his time and energy to love and serve our community and make lots of money and to become an addict of alcohol and to eat fast food every day. He was also a terrible dad. He was never present. He was not in my life. Right. And it's like, but like if we actually shared what life was like, so often that's our story is
Mm,
that we have all these addictions, we have all these terrible disciplines, we don't really pour ourselves into things we really love and what we really care about because we're just like, if I just give it a little more, I'll get over that hump and my business will be successful.
mm,
If I just one more year, we'll grind it out and then we'll be there. Right. And it's like, you're still not there. You're 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Your kid's 18 now. Your kid's gone. Now, right. And it's like, when do we stop and say, like, how is my marriage? How is my support community? How is my spiritual, emotional, physical, mental well-being? Right. And then that is the culture that you begin in yourself that
wow.
then says, like, I take that culture into my workplace and I create a workplace that helps support the people there to do the same thing.
Now, do you make a case that as a result of that, my business does better? Because
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh, how does
Absolutely.
that work?
Oh man, right? I mean, you hear it. I didn't come up with any of these great ideas of right, care for your people, and then they go care
Mm,
better for your customers, right?
yeah.
That's been said 1,000 times in Instagram posts all over the place. But man, like the practice of that, right? The problem is we didn't even start caring for ourselves. We didn't get our anger under control. We didn't get our disciplines under control. We don't have our schedules under control. We don't have our work boundaries under control, right? We're on our phone all ends of the night, all hours of the day. As soon as we wake up in the morning, we're on our email. End of the night, we're either scrolling through somebody's Instagram, living somebody's fake life, or we're back thinking about our work life,
Yeah.
right? And we've just created so many unhealthy boundaries. And so then we accidentally, not even knowing it, pour that onto our people and want our people to live that way, which then affects their families and affects their mental state and emotional state. And that just has compounding ripple effects that when you become a leader that's compassionate, self-controlled, disciplined, thoughtful, caring, right? Soft words, good listener, right? Understands what friendship is, understands how to balance workplace relationships. Now you teach your people that, and they become these like thriving individuals that then go into your community. And I mean, that's our favorite reviews, right? Like, these people are so kind, they're so respectful, they're so honest, they have integrity, right? And it's like, man, isn't that what we want to be said, to be known for? Right. We got a 1-star review the other day. Somebody had saw an Agentis truck. It had a "Love God, Love People" sticker on it. This is ridiculous. Terrible company to work for. And I'm like, okay, uh, love God, love people. Feels like those are the kind of 1-stars I want to get. Then I guess if that's what a 1-star is, then I'm sorry. Then we're going to work real hard to think deeper about life and carry that into how we care for our community and our people and our employees.
Yeah. Wow. Well, good for you. Yeah. Now, um, so do you envision tradespeople in addition to people in leadership positions? I mean, is this benefit everybody? Is that your expectation that you're going to get readership kind of down the line?
Yeah, I was sharing this the other day. Someone asked me kind of like, who's your target for trades? And I said,
Yeah.
well, I said, like, if you know a trades business, you got late 40s, 50, 60-year-olds working it. You got 18 to 23-year-olds working it, and you got very little in the middle, right? Like
Mm,
that's the result of America. Like, don't be a loser and go into the trades, right? Don't be a high school dropout and go into trades. Like, go to college and get a real job, right? Like all the things that we were talked to from every
mm,
angle for multiple decades. And so then that result is people didn't go into trades. Only the bad kids went into the trades. And so we have these large gaps. And so
mm,
now you have these late 40s, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds that have just been grinding it forever, right? Since the 80s, and are exhausted, burned out, on their
mm,
third marriage. They've moved from smoking to vaping to pot, right? To try to create calmness in their soul, right? That creates these addictive patterns and struggles that they have. And they don't have retirement. They're missing what they didn't hit their
mm,
goals. They're not sure how they're going to hit their goals. And then you have like this younger generation that's coming in saying, like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be like. I don't want to be like them, right? But I want to get in there and I want a good job and I want to make a lot of money and I want a good career. And so then like these two worlds like clash. You guys are lazy. You guys are, not good teachers and grumpy and don't have any goals in life, right? And it's like you see these generational clashes that happen. And so my book is kind of speaking to both of those to try to bridge a gap, saying like, if you're over here, let's get healthy and not burn out. If we're over here on the younger side and we're starting to come into the trades or build a business in the trades, let's build it the right way from the foundation up,
mm.
right? So we're kind of building up with the younger generation the right way, and we're kind of reconstructing, tearing down to rebuild back up in a healthy way, for some of the older people in the trades.
You know who I hope gets this? I hope you're able to reach the the teachers in high school
Yes.
shop, because you know how many kids think they've found themselves,
Yes.
whether they're fixing a car or learning how to do woodwork or just learning how to do stuff, and they love it. But to your point, they're told, "Oh, that's not what you do next," right? But
Right.
this book could be their ticket. No,
Mhm.
there's a way for you to survive and thrive and build something, be part of something, or somebody
Right.
that is in line to take over. Oh, well, I probably should take over dad's business, but
Mhm.
that's not kind of where my friends are going, and they're
Mhm.
they're going to look at me differently. This kind of
Mhm.
sets up hey, this is okay. You can build a business. By the way, there's some real big potholes in the road ahead, but am I getting
That's
this
right.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Like, I mean, I think your example of it makes sense I should take dad's business over, but why don't I want to? Not
Mm,
because dad didn't provide, not because dad wasn't a hard worker,
mm,
but
no.
there's something in those generational differences to say like, well, dad's 55, he still doesn't seem happy. Not sure
Mm,
why, right? He's still talking about needing retirement. He still doesn't take time off to go away with mom. Right, and they're watching this and saying like, "Well, I don't want that." Like, and then you ask dad, like, "When are you gonna retire?" And he's, "I'm never gonna retire. This is all I know. This is my life," right? And so, like, there's this, like, massive identity in work, right? And the younger generation's like, "I don't wanna be defined by work. Like, my job is who I am. That doesn't make sense to me." But, like, the old generation's like, "This is what I do. This is what I've done. This is what I love. This is who I am." Right? And so it's like, how do you help those 2 understand each other a little bit more? And so you're
mm,
teaching that younger generation coming in saying like, "Hey man, dad did the best he could with what he could and where he's at. Support him and thrive him and come alongside him and help him build a new generation of business that'll go decades more, but in a healthier way, maybe for you personally and for your people than maybe we were once taught in the trades."
mm. Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'm seeing really also two reasons to engage with you at Hope for the Trades. Somebody may uh, be aligned with your mission and want to find out how to be part of that,
Mhm.
right? Somebody
Yep.
may on the other end be reading your book and want more, right?
That's right.
They're hungry for more. So
Mhm.
that's why you've built this, right? So those are a couple
Exactly
of,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, take the money from the book and just fuel it in the Hope for the Trades and support tradespeople with any money I make from the book. People just buying it, but also creating a membership place that people can go to, right? You have amazing like nonprofits like the PHCC, and they even have one for farmers, right? Where they like are going and doing government advocacy work for laws and things like that for farming or for trades, which is great. I'm not that. I'm not like the government law guy. Like I am trying to more work on the well-being of the
Yeah.
tradesperson and support that. And so that can look like a business just giving to it. That can look like the goal is have a membership platform that people are a part of, and then they just get access to the partners, the resources, the retreats, the humanitarian trips, and it's all part of just your membership. And if you sign up, we give you a free book when you sign up. We'll ship that out to your house and things like that. So yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to what's ahead. It's young and just starting, but I do think it's a need for contractors out there.
I bet you read the book by Rick Warren
Purpose
called
driven life.
Purpose Driven Life. And we open that first page and we're kind of like, oh my gosh, because
That's
the first line in the book is, yeah, it's not about you.
it's not about you.
And then you go, oh my gosh. And you're
Mhm.
still a young man, Nate, and
Yeah.
you've been successful in your legacy business that you've taken to another level. You've had vision, you've had passion, and I think you've always been purpose driven. But it looks like now you're really putting that into action with
Yeah.
this organization. And the first book, we were talking about book titles. We won't go there. So there'll be more books. Maybe if you
Yeah.
have book title suggestions, but like you said,
Yes.
you're only covering the first couple of pillars in
Yeah.
depth on the first, so you've left your stove open there. So So if you haven't already, so hopefully the links have been provided in the stream here. So go find the book, or just go to Amazon and say Nate Agentis or Get Shit Done, and you're going to go find the book, and then the links to Hope for the Trades. And if you think of the individual, think of somebody like you, Nate. And I know you've talked a lot about it, but how would you summarize the goal for that individual, that they're gonna read this book, they're gonna go through really some sort of transformation, and they're gonna become more
what? Yeah, good question. I love editing companies because they ask you hard questions about your book, so that silly tradesmen like myself who can't spell and don't know good grammar, have to work through those answers before they put a book out on the market. Um, and it's like, what is the one thing people will walk away with the book? What's the most important thing? Took me a long time praying and reflecting, trying to figure out, like, what is that? Because I really don't want the word to be profit. That's not like what I'm looking. That's not what I'm looking for. It's every Instagram post will tell you how to make millions more of that. The word was humility, and it said, then the line in the book is, humility is the key to success, but accountability is the means to get there. And I think anytime you're stepping into coaching, right? If they're hiring chief outsiders, if they're coaching with me, or anyone else, right? There's an aspect of like, I've done a lot. Maybe I'm successful in lots of ways. Maybe I've accomplished a lot of things. I'm way further than maybe my dad or generations in the past were, but like, I just don't know everything. And like, I need help, and I want to move forward. Right. And I think like so many of us are scared of the word, like, blessed are the meek, blessed are the humble, right? Like, that's what we're saying there. And we're like, ooh, I hate those words, meek and humble. They sound like failure and frailty, and like you're in the fetal position and can't get out of it. And it's not that. You can be an amazing, successful leader and say like, oh, I want to be humble. I didn't do this on my own. I didn't get here on my own. People came alongside me and helped me. I need people to help me move forward. I have blind spots. So, right, that's the first swallow, right? When you dive into the book and you start working through the assessments and things like that, is like, ugh. Okay, so I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I get it. Right? By the time you're done your second assessment, right? And then the goal then is like, great, how do we put tools in place to help set some new goals and then to help keep us on track? Because I think, right, business owners, we're like in our
Yeah.
own box, like, right?
Yeah.
We look at our own tunnel vision. We don't want any help. We're not going to talk to our competition. We're really protective of our secrets. And so then the goal of accountability is to kind of help break us out of that and say like, great, you want to move forward, that's awesome, and here's the ways and the metrics we need to make sure that we're doing that in a healthy way.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Well, it sounds like it's a book for everybody. So I've enjoyed it so
Appreciate
far.
that.
I'm not through it.
Appreciate
But Nate, congratulations on
Thank you.
your book, Getting Shit Done. It just sounds funny to say. It sounds funny to say, but
So,
I think it's appropriate because that's what you've done, and you've shown that accountability and the personal goal of humility is a strategy for doing that, and
yeah.
for growth, personal growth, business growth, community growth, contribution. So thank you so much for being with us again. We may do this again. We may do this
I would
again.
love that. I would
Yeah.
love that. I love being on your
So,
podcast. I really appreciate it.
yes, congratulations, Nate, and everybody. Go pick up this book, check it out. You may want to read the book just to find somebody to hand it off to. Maybe when your next tradesman, whether it's a plumber or a painter or a builder, comes by your place, or maybe when you're going to go take them cake, right, and have that conversation. But let's check it out. And thank you so much, Nate, for joining us today on Chief Outsiders CEO Growth Talks. We'll see you next
Thanks,
time.
Pete. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.